CardioNet, which we talked about earlier, obviously is in the area of the diagnostic space. And what I think is not only is it interesting that they came up with a model that is 300% more effective than other current gold standards, they also did it with this very, very consumer-friendly delivery methodology. And we are starting to see medical device companies pay attention to the fact that they can actually design products that don't require physicians and hospital technicians for the patient to install, and can actually be self-installed and self-managed by the patients with very minimal amount of direction. And I think that's really kind of the breakthrough, even when we're talking about about traditional medical devices as opposed to true consumer devices. In the fitness area, Nike really led the field here with the integration of their pedometer, wireless pedometers with the iPod, but now obviously that's moving on into the iPhone. Sensei is a company that has a very nice suite of software applications for cell phones for weight management. It's here today and is actually a company that's partially owned by Humana, the big health maintenance organization. And the little blue phone, the blue screen phone there in the middle is a phone in Japan by Docomo. That's a phone that will measure your heart rate, your respiratory rate. It functions as a pedometer, calculates your BMI, and a few other things, all built under the screen. So it's essentially what they call in Japan a wellness phone. I'll show you why that's particularly important in Japan with the next offering, but we're seeing Japan being the leader in kind of rolling out a variety of wellness phones where you see these features and biosensors really built right into the phone. In the next company, Qualcomm, which is another Japanese company, what you're seeing there is a home health hub. That's a hub that has a cellular modem in it. It's meant to be placed in the home, and then it communicates with a variety of other household medical devices. What you're seeing there is a scale, a pedometer, a blood glucose meter, and a blood pressure cuff. All of those can communicate to the hub, and then the hub is connected to a remote sensor, which provides feedback to the patient to help manage any number of different kinds of conditions. Again, the reason they use cellular technology here is because the landlines are not available. They need a device. You can send it home with the patient or drop ship to the patient. The patient can literally take it out of the box, plug it into the wall, and forget about it. There's no other instructions necessarily required. The device can be completely remotely managed by the company. What made things interesting here in Japan was that this year, or actually last year now, 2008, Japan mandated metabolic exams for everybody turning 40 in the country as part of their health insurance. So if you turn 40 in Japan, you are mandated to go through an exam that includes weight, height, a measurement of your waist, and BMI calculations. And if you fail against the standards, you get fined, and you're employed by a company, the company gets fined, and the contribution to the health insurance trust goes up. So Japan's really taking this seriously, and actually that's been implemented. Some of you may have seen people lining up on the shop floors on CNN News getting their first measurements. So you're seeing, that's why we're seeing things like wellness phones and fitness phones and these home hubs coming into the market in Japan, because there's essentially a government mandate and a very serious cost that's beginning to drive some of the adoption towards these devices that may help ultimately lower those costs, which are obviously kind of penalties and